Welcome back to the Fly Culture podcast with me, Pete Tigers. This is another one on the road. It's been a busy few months and there's more to come too. But today I've headed all the way over to Sussex, to Lakedown Fishery, a famous fishery that's well known by many stillwater anglers. There's an event being run today and hosted by Charles Jardine for Fishing for Schools. So what I'm going to try and do is have a wander around, talk to a few people and get a sense of what's happening at this event. I'm told there's some really interesting people here, so hopefully they're going to let me poke the microphone in front of them and get a few words of what the day is, how the fishing is, and go from there. So I hope you enjoy this one. I'm sitting with Charles Jardine this morning. Charles, it's great to see you as ever, Maestro. Where are we and what are we doing today?
Got no idea, Pete. It's like that. We're at Lakedown, and I've always said, and I'm on record as saying, this has got to be one of the most beautiful places that we fish in the UK. I mean, look at it. It's got the flag iris are out, there's lilies out, and all you want is fizzing tench, really, don't you? I didn't say that. This is my final year with Fishing for Schools. In a permanent sort of situation. I'm always going to carry on, but at 72, I'm feeling it a bit, I think, and I want to do other things. I want to go fish again. But to sign off, we're having a fundraising day here at Lakedown. We've got a bunch of ne'er-do-wells here in teams. Many you'll know, some you don't, but by the end of this you will. But the idea is a blatant, give us your money, really. It's my Bob Geldof moment, I think. And that's it. In order that we take what we've done with Fishing for Schools further, and we will, I'm going to sign off with something pretty amazing, which you'll know about. And that's the consummation of everything we've done for 18 years. 18 years we've been doing this. It's been a long time, but my goodness me, it's been fantastic. But this is a nice way to do it. It's a nice way to sign off, a nice way to bring people together, celebrate our sport, raise some money. We've got an online auction going on at this moment, and that's doing quite well. But it's not purely about that. It's just to celebrate, as I just said, the sport and bring young people into it and know that the good that we're doing today is going to be the good that those kids will enjoy.
And for you, 18 years, it must be you're way too young to talk about legacies, but what you've done for young anglers over that period of time, you must now at this stage reflect and think, wow, that was fun. And I think we've helped spread the fly fishing word. I
kind of get what you're saying, but as the dog vanished. But, whatever we've done now is just a pinprick on the surface of what we need to do. Because it's not just about fishing. It's not just about getting kids by the waterside. It's about giving them some educational content. And I know that they're learning from this and learning the things that we actually probably take for granted. But the important thing is that grows substantially. And yes, it's nice to reflect, but I look and I can reflect back on the thousands that we have brought into it in a sustainable way. I mean, yes, we could have had a big event and had 10,000 people there, but ours are monitored, so we know who's coming in, who's going out, and we've got a good idea of of what we've left behind as a result. So, yes, it's still unfinished business. It's a bit like a painting. You never actually finish it. You never actually finish anything. It's like a book. You look back and think, crikey, I could have done that paragraph better, or I could have done this. So whatever I've done, and it's kind of you to say that, it's still unfinished business.
But also from the point of view of, you say that broader context of what you brought youngsters, which is, of course, incredibly important, but also it's helped plant that seed. And have you seen people that have come through from that period of time, and I've used that term, but have picked up that fly rod for that first time with you at the many events that you've put on, but have gone on further and continue to fish long afterwards?
Absolutely. In fact, there's a young man cradling a massive carp, because we don't just do fly fishing, we do coarse fishing as well. cradling this huge carp on the front of Freshwater Informer, which is the local magazine to this area. And he came through our process, and he's become a sort of a media star, whatever that is now, in his own little area. So, there are people who've gone on to international status through Fishing for Schools, or their involvement with Fishing for Schools. So yes, Pete, I mean, you can, as I say, we can monitor what's happened. It's not some sort of vague thing where you go, yes, well, we've taken X amount of people. We know what we've done. We know we can chart their progress. So, but the important thing is not necessarily the headline hitters. It's the people you never hear about who find some kind of solace in the restorative qualities of just the immersion of the natural world that we sometimes take for granted. Going fishing is about that. It is about that experience, and it sounds a bit fey, but it's not. If you're wading your lovely rivers in Devon, or if I'm in the Ebu, I don't look at the shopping trolley I'm casting around. I'm actually celebrating the sport because I love to be there, and things evaporate and don't matter quite so much as they do. They come back and haunt you, but, for that moment, you are part of that wonderful tapestry of the natural world.
And you summed that up beautifully, and I think about how we often, and it's more of a modern phrase about the restorative, the well-being of fishing. But of course, you've been preaching this for quite some time now, haven't you?
Yeah, and if fishing was just about catching fish or holding fish aloft, then I would have been out of this sport maybe, 50 years ago. I don't need to catch another trout. I don't need to catch another fish. But what I do need is that water. And I need that backdrop. And I need the friendship of people like yourself and Pete Cockwill and everyone that's here. I need that far more than I need to catch another fish.
I think that's beautifully put. And I think we're starting to see that swing away from that a little bit now in the broader, let's use the word social media world, but that's the way that we look into our world. And that's definitely swinging away a little bit now as well, isn't it?
I don't see it. I'd love to say yes. I just don't see it. I just see people exalting, that odd fish that is being held way too far above the water, too long, generally speaking, and I just don't get it. What does that prove? That you're a better fisherman. Sorry, this is really turning into something quite aggressive. That person's a better fisher than I. Well, probably they are. I don't care. My job is to be part of that fabric of the natural world, which I absolutely celebrate every time I pick up a fly rod.
That's absolutely perfect. And we're going to shift things on and listen to that, folks. That's Charles Jardine saying these sorts of things and thinking about fish welfare. So again, before this spins off somewhere else, but it looks as though it's a fantastic turnout today. There's loads of people here. You must be thrilled and very, very excited. Are you going to get to cast a rod at all?
Probably not. I've got a small Labrador. I've got to take photographs, and I've got to make sure everyone else casts a rod and everyone else has a fantastic time. All for Fishing for Schools, and that is my role today. I feel like the circus, the chap in the middle of the all I need is the red coat, the top hat, and but my job is to make sure everyone has a great time. That's it.
I know you're going to do that, and on behalf of all of us, again, not just for your work with the event today and Fishing for Schools, but thank you for everything that you have done for fly fishing so far and for inspiring so many people, youngsters, people like myself have, I know I was sending you pictures the other day of your books that were on my bookshelf and have had a profound impact on us that has... I'm still apologising. Yeah. And the impact that you've had on many of us. So I'd like to say thank you on behalf of many of the listeners as well for everything that you do for fly fishing, and please, please, please keep doing it.
I jolly well shall.
So the other nice thing about being here is that there's some tackle you can buy as well. and Orvis have a really nice stand here. Aaron, it's great to meet you and see you at the event. It's looking pretty smart here.
Thank you, Pete. Yeah, it's great to be down here supporting Fishing for Schools. As Orvis, we try and do our bit for the fishing community. This is just one of the things we do. It certainly isn't everything, but we've got a nice selection of bits and pieces to show off. If anybody wants anything, obviously we'd be happy to let them have a go. We've got a few demo rods for people to play with today. We've got the new Helios, which has been out for about a year now, but not everyone's yet had a chance to have a go. So we've got one of those for people to have a go with today. And we've got kind of a full selection of samples, at least, of all of our pro gear, wading, and other bits and pieces. We've also got some tackle bits and pieces down the end there. They're on us if anyone needs anything. They're just a nice to have today if anybody's forgotten something important, which we all know happens when you get to the water's edge. So yeah, we're really happy to be here, really happy to be supporting.
And one of the words I associate with Orvis now is community, and that's really important to you, and this is part of this, isn't it, being part of this event? And is that a conscious decision that you've taken that in a whole stronger direction? It's always been there, but it feels to me as though it's much stronger these days. Yeah,
that's a really great question. We have absolutely committed to building and being part of the fishing community over the past few years. I firmly believe, and we as a brand firmly believe, that the method to grow this sport for everyone is to be an approachable, welcoming brand, and anyone can come and talk to us. We're here today. We're actually not exactly launching, but we've got our Come Fish With Us campaign, which is all about those experiential things that we offer, whether it's days on the beach, coaching, tuition, festivals, one-off experience days. There's a whole gamut of different things. One of the things that's doing really well for us at the moment is the sort of cross-species thing. So we've got lots of people who are sort of traditional trout anglers, but they want to have a go at saltwater, or they want to have a go at something a bit different like carp on the fly. So we've got a whole bunch of those, and that's what the Come Fish With Us campaign is all about.
Fantastic. Well, great to speak with you, and have a great day today.
Thank you, Pete, and good luck today.
So I've had coffee, I've had a bacon sandwich, I'm ready to rock. The anglers are gathering. But also it's been lovely to see James Cuthbertson, who's been a great supporter of many, many events from Lakedown Brewery. You're on your home water, aren't you?
Yes, not that I get to fish it very much. I always feel guilty working here, and I feel I'm kind of cheating if I'm out fishing. So, I mean, there can't be a better place to work than this. So that's beautiful. But yeah, as for fishing here, I do more watching people fish than I do fishing myself.
And you've been busy cooking bacon sandwiches, right?
I have been, yeah. Honestly, we were talking about the other day, if anyone described your job here, it's just bizarre. You're doing everything. I mean, it's just, bacon sandwiches, a bit of taking people around the water, showing them the place, brewing, tastings. Yeah, so it's nuts really, but good nuts.
And the brewery is right behind the fishery. It's literally, you can see it a stone's throw or a long cast, a double haul away from the lake. And you've got also the tap room here as well. And is that sort of an extension from that where people can have something to celebrate the day?
The idea of the tap room it sort of evolved in lockdown when we were all scratching around with nothing to do. And it was always the family kind of, it was like the outside boys' game room really. And then the fishermen sort of would always come here. And then we thought, actually, let's make this a bit more. And I mean, I fish around various different places. And, it's not all about that social bit, but it's a lovely thing when you get it. And there's a place to everyone to sit and have a natter. So there's a guy called Ted that runs it. And I think he's been with us since the early 1800s. Those that know the water or know Ted, I think he's a font of knowledge and brilliant. And it's become a real... So we're open to the public. And we get lots of people locally and travel to us. So you get the kind of drinking and eating side of things. But it's interspersed with fishermen and people that come here fishing. It's almost like theatre, and they're the actors on the stage, because you come here and you can watch people casting beautifully and not so beautifully. And you can see the fish, rise out of the water, and it's a really special place, but it's where, you have a day's fishing, you come, you have a beer afterwards and a chat about what you didn't catch or did catch. And I think what I really love about it is a lot of new friends have been made here, and people have gone to other waters together. So it's what great British pubs are like, really. They are an institution, they're part of our social fabric, and I think we've done that here. And it's just so. I was worried about sort of a craft beer movement. It's very exclusive, and that's not what we want to be. We make the sport inclusive, and we're lucky enough to partner with the likes of Orvis and Yeti, who clearly have, Orvis particularly have got exactly that. Let's get people into fishing. And you come in here, and if you want it, it's full of advice and rods to borrow, and I just love the environment. Yeah.
And for you, how's the brewery going?
Brewery, fortunately, is going really well. It allows me to support lots of other things that we do with you guys and others that I mentioned. So, fortunately, in a market that's quite tough, we're doing well. But I think that's due to we've got a real commitment to trying to be as off grid and as light touch as possible. So we have solar powered by solar. We use Sussex spring water. We've invested heavily in producing a brewery there that is just right, just done right from day one. I've had a brewery before, and these guys, when I joined them, the mission was always to brew great beer that we want to drink, which sounds a bit cliche. It sounds like bands want to make, play music they want to listen to. But it was true, and also to be the best we can be, and not never settle for second best. And that's what we've done. So fortunately, that seems to have carried us forward. When we get listings in places, we stay there. So yeah, it's good. It's good. Thank you.
And I can say I've tasted the beer and it is most excellent. Free plug for you. Where do people find Lakedown beer?
All right. So yeah, just Google Lakedown Brewery and you'll find us in lots of different places, but you come to our website and they can have a look there. And yes, and anyone obviously listen to podcasts, come down, come and say hi. And there's plenty of issues of Fly Culture magazine in here as well. So come down, have a beer and a good read and look at some beautiful pictures.
Fantastic. Have a great day today, James.
Cheers. Thanks, Pete.
So I've bumped into Feargal Sharkey, who's here this morning, and we're on a still water this morning. Yeah. And you would associate Feargal with rivers, of course, everyone will. Is this a strange environment for you, Feargal?
It is. And in fact, I did, in an act of futility, try to find my old lures and kind of stillwater flies at the weekend. I know I have them somewhere. So I did find myself standing in Farlow's yesterday in Pall Mall, buying these big, ugly, fluorescent orange things. And the poor staff, to their credit, were looking at me quite quizzically. Because normally if I'm in there, it's some size bloody 20 kind of emerging little something or other. And they're suddenly going, Feargal, where are you going? So, I'm looking forward to it. It's when I first came to England 40 years ago, I was utterly dependent upon still waters, and that was until I then started to figure out and get access to chalk streams and river facing and all the rest of it. So still waters, I think, are fantastic, and particularly a fantastic way to bring people together and introduce people to fly fishing. Because let's face it, there's nothing worse than standing in a river and not catching something on your first, second, third, fourth outing. So I think still waters are brilliant, and all hail Roger Daltrey for the work he's done here over the last, 30 years now he's owned it, 35 years or something. Extraordinary place.
Absolutely. And have you got a game plan for today, or are you just going to enjoy the whole experience? Are you competitive?
Well, you already know the answer to the latter. The only game plan I have right now to lob the damn thing as far out as I possibly can and drag it back as quickly as I can, and we'll see what happens after that.
I think I'd be exactly the same as well. So I will keep my fingers crossed for you. Have a great day and great to see you as always.
Oh, good to see you.
The event is underway now, and somebody doesn't really like Feargal saying fish small or still waters a great deal. It's been lovely to see the camaraderie, people helping each other. The fishery is absolutely packed at the moment as well. So wherever you look, there seems to be anglers around at the moment. It's such a beautiful setting in a valley, and it's sort of, I think there are 4 lakes that sort of cascade down as the valley gets deeper and deeper. Beautifully landscaped. It's been here 30, 40 years, perhaps a little bit longer than that now, but beautiful setting. I've seen people landing some fish already, and people are having a really, really good time. So, and that's what it's all about, and it's for such a great cause as well. The raffle, by the looks of it, is going to be very popular. There's a piece of artwork by Charles that looks absolutely beautiful, but lots of other nice stuff as well. There's a rod there, so hopefully that's going to help raise some money as well. But yeah, it's a wonderful turnout, great sense and feel of the place, and yeah, it's looking really good. I was just recording something, and Charles has wandered around with a dog and a camera as well, and he's seen the rhododendrons. And I was saying how beautiful the system of lakes are, but also the feel of the event. You must be thrilled that there's anglers everywhere, there's rods bent. People are happy, aren't they?
Yeah, they really are. The funny thing is that everyone comes, Pete, and you'll know this, they turn up and they say, well, I'm just coming to support the charity, I'm just coming for a cup of tea, I'm just doing this, I'm just doing that. And you see them hurtling off. There's people here that want to win.
What does the winner get?
Not much.
The glory for about half an hour.
Yeah, for a nanosecond. Actually, we found a medal. We found a medal, and it was actually one of the original. We have an event in November coming up in the Houses of Parliament, and it's to celebrate the youngsters. And I've still got some medals from the last one, so that's what they're going to get.
That's worth it then, isn't it? But no, it looks great, and yeah, everyone's sort of really into it, aren't they? Like you say, the competition thing, you can see the focus. Yeah, Feargal's down there. He's got a chair and everything as well, hasn't he?
Concentrated.
Yeah.
He's on. Was it on point?
Yeah. Yeah, he's in. I would call that in the zone, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I would. Yeah, definitely.
So I'm sitting watching the anglers at the moment and have got the chance to speak with Lee Hooper, who works for Fishing with Schools, also ties awesome flies as well. You must be pleased with how it's looking today.
It's amazing. It is mind-blowing. It's really busy. There's famous faces everywhere. It's a really good atmosphere, very friendly. It's the first time I've been to Lakedown. It's a beautiful spot. It's really nice. I'd definitely like to come back again, yeah.
And we were talking about it earlier, and I was saying I'm literally a fish out of water on lakes because rivers are my thing. And of course, you're based on the Wiley as well, aren't you?
Yeah, live on the River Wiley. So I'm a member of Salisbury District. I do like a bit of pond fishing as well, obviously. But very lucky to be on the Wiley. I love the Wiley. I've lived in the same sort of town all my life, so I know that area really well. And the river, yeah, it's lovely. Yeah.
And what does Fishing for Schools mean for you?
Fishing for schools means a lot of people think fishing for schools is just fishing, but for me, fishing is just the vehicle. It gets so many more levels with kids. We have kids that are in really bad places and struggling with all sorts of things in life. You know, life's tough nowadays, and seeing kids thrive, seeing the teachers' faces when they know there's a student that's struggling, and fishing just brings them out of themselves, and it's a great. Gives you a real good, feel-good feeling working with the kids. It's really good, yeah.
And you must be pleased with the turnout today as well. It's been fantastic, and the feel of the event's been wonderful as well, hasn't it?
It is, it is amazing. It's amazing. Amazing morning. Charles' usual thing. We're all being kept in the dark, not really knowing what to expect today. But it is a fantastic. There's lots of brilliant day. It's going to be a fun day, yeah.
I wish you every success, and I hope everything goes well, and lots of people catch lots of fish.
Brilliant. Thanks, Peter. Thank you.
Pete Cockwill, great to see you as always, and having some fun today, yeah?
Always having fun. That's what we do. We've got to have fun.
And I know the podcast that we've serialised your life story on the podcast. I know it's gone down fantastically well. The donkey story was, of course, fantastic, which you need to share. We'll come on to your pupil very shortly. But yes, absolutely. We'll come on to that very, very shortly. But there's plenty more to come from this as well, isn't there?
I hope so. Yep. Got lots more to come.
And you're going to head down to Devon soon. We're going to see you down there too, right?
Yep, we'll do an evening there with you in the pub, and I hope you won't force drink down my throat.
We'll see what we can do. And we're at Lakedown today. What does that mean to you as a fishery? Because you must have written so many articles. You must have done so much stuff here over the years. Is it still a special place for you?
Lakedown is so beautiful. It's just, you don't hear any traffic here. It's wonderful. And I know I've been coming here since Roger built it in, was it 1981 or something? So off and on feature days here. It's just the most lovely fishery.
And today, it feels as though the feel of the event is really, really good as well. People are enjoying themselves. I've seen some rods bent, and you're doing a bit of tuition, right?
Yeah, always try and help somebody if I can. And Johnny here needs just never done fly fishing, so we're getting that going. And we just want to get a fish on the end.
Best of luck with that. And I'd love to speak with Peter's pupil. It is none other than Johnny Vegas. And for me, this must be kind of a bit like a Taskmaster event, isn't it? That cast a fly out that's made out of fur and feather and see if you can catch fish with it?
I think compared to the fishing I'm used to with a ledger, when I've got used to letting a massive lead weight go in the right place, it is different. But the beauty of fishing is there's a simplicity to it. And if you don't beat yourself up, go after go after go, every cast you do, you find a rhythm. And I'm learning with fly fishing. It's like dancing, where you go, find your rhythm, find your tempo, feel the line, which you've got to do more with this. There's 4 or 5 things going on, and it does feel like a lot, and Peter's really patient with going. When the rod's too far back, the line falls on the water. When it's the 5 o'clock, 12 o'clock, you know what I mean? Just feel it. And you've got to get into that feeling. And at first, I think, and without sounding too like, with ADHD and thing, where you suddenly go, you're not going to be brilliant your first time out. But what you're going to do is, you'll find a love for it. You'll find a love for it because you go, for me going fishing, I can have the best day out and not catch. But it isn't. It's about being out. It's about having that time to reconnect with yourself. So today is a competitive fishing event. I'm very worried that there's guys here who absolutely know what they're doing. I'm new to it. You go, right, meet me on a carp lake. But I don't want to get into that mentality because I just want to enjoy the day. It would be nice to land a decent trout. It would be great to land one, but I do fish, and I don't want to be purely novelty.
And that's one of the differences, isn't it, between the fishing that you tend to do and fly fishing is the casting's part of it as well, isn't it? And that's another thing to master aside from the fishing itself.
It's a pure poetic movement, and when it works, you feel it, you see it, you know it. Even if you're casting against wind, when you see that straight line go in, you're going, that was all right, that, wasn't it? Then you want to feel that thing of drawing the line and coaxing the fish up. It's every bit of this is skill. But I must admit, being a lazy individual, that's probably why I ledger and method fish is. I don't mind the waiting. With this, there's constant angst. This cast be the cast. Will it be the one when do you know what I mean? Show up the guy next to me who's done it for years. It's like my mate plays golf and you go, how can you practice so much and be rubbish one day? With this, it's not your fault. And the fish do dictate as and when they feel like making you feel like a hero.
Your fishing credentials sound fantastic from the way that you're speaking about fishing, and hopefully this gets under your skin a little bit as well. One of the things I should say, you've mentioned carp, that Pete as well is a real expert with carp on the fly, so you can catch those on the fly. I didn't know if you've thought about that or knew about that.
My local lake, I haven't caught them on the fly, which I'll try, because what they've banned is floating crust. It's a really well-stocked lake. It's brilliant. Thatcherheath Dam, can I put it out there?
Yeah, definitely.
A gang of local lads have rescued this place and they've turned it from stagnant water into one of the best fisheries. Best place. I took my 7 when he was 7, he's 9 now. Best place to go fishing because he was catching £5, £6 carp. Thrilled. Addicted straight away. I mean, all this lad can catch, and you can fish on worm, you can fish on this, but they have deemed that floating crust is too easy because it's that well stocked. Yeah. They just go mad for it. So, sorry, what was your question?
I think you answered it. Yeah, about carp. Yeah, about the carp and carp on a fly.
I would try carp with fly, but I'll be honest, they're so greedy. I could try a bit of cardboard, and they'd probably go for it. No, it's not the hardest place to fish. It's one of them. I remember an interview years ago on Screaming Reels, and it was fantastic because he went, Yeah, and I'm sorry if I can't remember the guy's name, but he was like
Nick
the
Fisher,
best.
yeah.
Oh no, Nick, but the guy who's interviewing was one of the best barbel fishermen going. And he went, "So what's your method?" He went, "Piece of plasticine and a bit of luncheon meat." And he went, "And you're never afraid that they'll take the plasticine instead of the luncheon meat?" And he went, "If they offered you a pie and a brick, what would you eat?" That was. He didn't have an answer, and you're going, yeah, it makes sense. He went, "Look, you can make fishing. Yeah, there's as many gizmos out there, isn't there? You learn a method. That's how you do it. And if it works for you, it works for you. But fishing's all about being in that moment. Of course you want to catch. Of course you want to. Do you know what I mean? You want to land something. Of course you want to feel that tension on the line. But if you don't, you're just out. And I can't, because of my job, I don't have a dog. So my children and fishing get me out of the house. And being out, doing that, casting in, trying. I used to wake up at 3 a.m. and make my own boilies. Oh, I got so into new recipes with designated coconut and all that. And then I'd see a lad come on with the worm and he'd catch one in 5 minutes and he's looking at you going, "You're an idiot." And it's just patience wins the day. That's fishing. Patience wins the day. Learn what you can. But it's the most, if you struggled at school, it's the most enjoyable learning process I can describe.
I think you've hit the nail on the head there and what it means to us. Welcome to the family of fly fishing. I hope it goes a little bit further. I've got to tell you, your teacher, Pete Cockwill, he's one of my fishing heroes. Him and Charles are why I'm standing here now. So you're on great tutelage.
I've already got him hanging his head going, there's nothing can be done with
it.
it.
I'll give you the money later. Okay?
Yeah. Well, it's been great to speak with you. I'm going to wander around a little bit. I'm going to be watching closely, see if you can catch that fish. Thank you for talking with me.
And look at the two really competitive guys who've gone out on that open lake, and you go, I hope one of us lands something just right next to it. You know where you go? Yeah. No, I've looked it out, I've staked it out, I think I know what's going on. And you go, it's when you see a kid catch some, you know, they're going, how, with all my knowledge? And you go, that's fish for you. Yeah. They choose.
Yeah. They definitely do. You're dead right.
They choose their victor.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, fingers crossed for you. I'm going to be watching closely. All the best. Thanks for speaking with me, and have a great day today.
Lovely. Thank you. Thanks for having us here.
Well, I've bumped into Yvette Austin, who is throwing a beautiful line out onto the lake today. This is fun, isn't it?
It is. I've got the wind coming in my direction, which means the fish should be coming towards me with the food, but of course I'm having to cast into the wind. And it's not my best thing, because I tend to tread on the line, which is what I'm doing now. But yeah, what a fabulous day, though. I mean, you know, it's a bit overcast and not too sunny, not too hot, and so hopefully the fish will play ball. And what a great course for good old Charles.
It really is. And I associate you with streams of Kent and around that neck of the woods. Would that be correct? Or are you more on rivers, or are you more a combination of both?
Well, I started with the still waters, I think, like probably quite a few people do. And then I decided to have a go at rivers. And yes, Kent is my home. So there are two rivers that I fish on in Kent. And one of them is the River Tees, which is sort of clay, quite flashy, associated with Buell Reservoir. So they fill up the Tees in the winter, fill up Buell in the winter and vice versa in the summer. And the other one that I like to go to is the River Darrant, and so I'm a member there, and that's the complete opposite, because that's a chalk stream, one of the very few chalk streams that we have around the place. And yeah, so it's both of them are beautiful rivers, very, very different, both of them quite tricky for me anyway. But yeah, it's lovely to come to still water still, and also try the rivers. So sometimes if I need to stock the freezer, I'll do the still waters. I put the ones back to the river when I catch them there. But yeah, it's lovely.
And I'm told this is some form of a competition. Are you a competitive person?
I am, but I try not to be when I'm fishing. I've done sort of sport in the past, in which I have been very competitive. But fishing, I try to relax in. But of course, it's always nice to catch a fish. So hopefully, I might be in with a chance. I'm not actually sure of the rules, apart from it's one from each lake, I think, and then another one. So, but 4 fish would be quite a lot for me to catch in a day. So hopefully one, something for tea.
I'll keep my fingers crossed for you. Have a great day.
Thank you very much, and it's so lovely for everybody, and it's a good turnout, and great cause.
Well, Yvette, that's a nice start to things, isn't it?
It is, yeah. I changed fly a couple of times because I don't know, felt it in my body that I wasn't there, and then I put the one with the orange head on, and I thought this is better, so I let it go down. And then I felt it, just nibble it, and I left the fly there for a little bit, and then he took it. So, so I'm really chuffed now. I've got my tea. That's the main thing.
And a very good gilly for you as well.
Oh, yes. I don't really know... I don't know the guys over there, but Charles told me to go over here. So I think that, that's all down to Charles, that one.
Well, many congratulations, and then off to lake number 2 to see if you can catch fish number 2.
Yes. I don't know. I think... Well, it's big, isn't it? I've never been here before, and there was me casting here, and I turned round and suddenly saw a lot more water. So I guess that's the next lake. So I'll head down there and see if I can get another one.
Best of luck.
Thank you so much.
There's times when you see somebody who has never picked up a fly rod before, and you think, this is strange. Are they one of these undercover people who are trying to do a report on your teaching services and if they're any good or not? And Johnny's assistant, Bev, I made some casts out and she had a go. And all of a sudden, things slotted into place rather nicely. Bev, what was it that you were doing when you were bringing the fly in?
I was doing a figure of 8 retrieve on the line. I knew I was doing that.
It's absolutely extraordinary to see, and quite often one of the hardest things in the past when I've taught people to fly fish is getting them to retrieve the line and saying, look, use it if you're right-handed, put the line under your right hand and then pull it in with the left hand. And that's sometimes the hardest part to get. But that was really intuitive for you to do. Have you never done it?
Never ever touched picked up a rod in my whole life. But it was really funny though, because Johnny's quite competitive, and with us stood sort of just further along the bank, if I would have brought in a trout then, caught a trout, he would have not been happy. So it was just like, if she catches now and I've been sat here for an hour and not caught anything. I am left-handed. I don't know whether that helps, but I do a lot with my right, so I'm sort of not ambidextrous. So, but I just thought I was doing the wrong thing, but apparently I was doing the right thing, but I didn't catch.
Absolutely. And for you, wandering round as a non-angler who's never sort of, I guess, seen this sort of thing before in the fly fishing, what have you taken from it? It's
absolutely beautiful here down at Lakedown. It's stunning. We're on 3 lakes today. They're fishing for a couple of hours. I know it's something Johnny's coarse fisher. He's got a little dam that he goes to doing carp fishing. It's just really peaceful for him. And he just said he's just coming along today just to help out with the charity, but he secretly wants to catch 4 fish. And it's an hour in and he's not caught one. So let's see what lunch brings.
So I've caught up with Ted, who's the manager, instructor at the fishery. Ted, the fishery's looking beautiful today. I hear you've been here a little while.
Yeah, for the best part of a tidy while. Yeah, about 39 years. Yeah, love it. Lovely place, good crowd of people down here. No problem at all with them. And I've known quite a few of them a long while, so ain't too bad.
And how have you seen it change from, I guess that 39 years is when the fishery started, and it looks incredibly mature because it's been here a long time now. Have you seen many changes?
I've seen quite a few changes, the people coming down here, they appreciate the place because it's natural. And you've got to go something to beat the scenery here. It really is a lovely, lovely place. I'll never grow tired of it. I'll sit there. I'll just take the view in, get here early in the morning, quiet as a mouse. It's absolutely lovely.
So, Johnny, you are no longer a stranger in the ways of trout on the fly. How does that feel?
That was absolutely phenomenal. Trout fight in a different way. to other fish. Do you know what I mean? They do it on the surface, and when they jump, fishing barbless. It could be the most frustrating thing. It's actually the most exhilarating thing, because you're going, if you don't keep, every time you think they've given up the ghost, they pull again, and you go, if you don't feel it through the line and the rod, they'll have you. They're off, and you go, fair play. It's about you and me, but he was, when he first came up, and you're going, he's a decent size. We could feel it in the rod, you know what I mean? The rod going, but you're going, I do love that thing when the rod becomes an extension of your body. You've got to feel it. You can't land a fish if you don't feel it. And that was fair play to you, sir. I owe that fish. That was a buzz. That was great. It was finally. I'm crap at casting, but I'm good at landing.
You could see your coarse fishing background, the way you were playing the fish. You knew you were in total control of that part of it as well, weren't you?
Yeah, because again, carp, I think when you're fishing for clever fish, they go for the fly, but the second they realise something's just don't feel right, you've got it is that tension in it where you go, how much stress can you put on this? What stress can you put on the line? What stress? We're not deep sea. We're not Americans. We're not fishing for something that's 59 pounds. You've got a feeling for it. We're not Donald Trump. We're British. We have emotions. You've got to feel for the fish when you're bringing it in. That fish, quite rightly, is going, right, I'm going to give you everything I've got. And you go, I know. And if I don't treat you with any kind of respect, you'll get off and live to fight another day. And it's just that wonderful, wonderful moment of going, I think it's ready. I think everything up to netting it is so uncertain. And you go, but come in. And when you net it, I think the fish knows respect. And you go, respect, because it goes both ways.
And you said, you were getting quite a buzz from it. And somebody who's played loads of fish down the years, that was still a buzz for you in a different way, I guess.
Yeah, it was, because obviously I've been struggling with casting. I've been struggling with the wind. My mentor here has been fantastic. And he got the line out and we're going, we've tried, four different flies. Which ones drag across the bottom, which ones, you know what I mean? A floaters, let your line sink, do this. Suddenly with a heavier fly, I was thinking, I ain't got anywhere. You'll know when you've got a bite. And you do. Because when that bit, it didn't nibble. It went for it. And then, oh God, all the joy kicks in. The sitting, the waiting, it's always worthwhile. That bend on the rod, and it extends up your arm, it goes through your shoulder and straight to your heart.
I like that a lot. I tell you what, do you think it's time to try and get another one?
Definitely. Let's move on to our second lake and wait till they see the size of the one we go. It was worth waiting for. Hey, we're in the game. Yeah, you're in the game.
Many congratulations.
I came here saying I didn't want to compete, but it's my Olympics. I couldn't win Wimbledon. I didn't have a strong enough backhand. I couldn't do anything else. My dad, I was crap at rugby league. But today, I think, let's be in it to win it. But enjoy it. It's just that. Just landing that. And do you know what I love with fishing? 5 past masters over there clapping to see you get it in. And I really wanted to prove to people that you go, look, I might be new to the casting method. I might be new to this. I do know how to land a fish. Please trust me. The patience and the joy of that gameplay with a fish is why you do it.
Great work.
Well, no, because I didn't cast. But yeah, superb. And you know what? I'm going to cook that with love.
And many of you will listen to this podcast who have caught a bunch of fish down the years, but that will resonate with so many of you, that first fish, that moment when that fish has landed and everything has slotted into place. So huge congratulations, Johnny. We were just talking off mic, and I'd said about the bit to Johnny about that I'd just recorded about how it would resonate, how that fish feels, that first fish feels for everybody. But he just said he wanted to add something just on the end of our conversation here. What was it, Johnny?
It was when I fished as a lad, my dad and my uncle fished as kids. He would claim that he tickled perch, right, in the same way. And you're going, just getting that out and netting it, my dad would have been chuffed. There's moments where you just go, you either feel his hand on your shoulder, and a selfish bit, you just goes, I wish you were still here. Because bringing that in, you're going, he always encouraged me with me fishing. And when we went and I was rubbish and we didn't catch out, it was still a day out, the two of us. And this, also, my dad, wartime child, would now sit down. If he were here, he'd sit down, he'd show me how to gut, how to prepare it, and how to cook it. And it would be delicious. It will be delicious, but I wish my dad were cooking it.
Today's been about the charity Fishing for Schools, but also it would be remiss of me not to tell you about Des and his work with Teenage Cancer Trust and what's involved with that, because it's an amazing charity and it will be wonderful for listeners to hear a little bit more about it. So Des, can you tell us a little bit about what you do?
For the charity, I've been fundraising for them for 20 years now, because my background's music industry. So along with Roger Daltrey, I've been producing the shows at the Royal Albert Hall, which involves begging all the artists to perform for free, because none of the artists get paid. Obviously, you have to pay crew and you have to pay security and everything like that. So everyone gives up their time for free. And yeah, so basically we started off in 2000 with one show, which was The Who and Friends. One of the friends being Noel Gallagher, there was Paul Weller, Eddie Vedder, Kelly Jones from Stereophonics, Brian Adams, and my brain's not working. Nigel Kennedy, sorry, Nigel. And everyone had such a great time. Noel said, right, well, we'll come back next year and do it with Oasis. And Paul came back and headlined Night Kelly with the Stereophonics. And it just grew from what was supposed to be a one-off thing to now it's an annual event. We do 7 nights every year. And we've just had, it'd be crazy to try and list the names of the people who've supported the charity, but we're really lucky and blessed. We've had incredible support from the music industry and also the comedy industry. And we've raised, in profit, 34 million in the last 25 years. We're just about to announce how much we raised last year. I'm not allowed to say, but it'll be announced on Wednesday, but it's more good news. And basically where the money goes is, before Teenage Cancer Trust existed, if you were a young person, you were diagnosed with cancer, you would either be put on a children's ward or a geriatric ward, and neither of those, that it's not an ideal situation for a teenager to be put on either. We had some cases where we had a 16-year-old kid who's captain of the rugby team, and he's in a child's ward where his legs were sticking out the end of the bed, and you've got clowns coming in and painting, and it's not age appropriate care. And then on the other end of the scale, if you're in a geriatric ward, unfortunately, because of the nature of the illness at that age, a lot of people aren't going to pull through. So if you're a young person in a ward, you're going to think, well, that's it, I'm going to die. So neither of those situations is ideal. So what Teenage Cancer Trust do is they have age-appropriate wards within the NHS. It's all totally free. And young people get treated together. They go through experience. They'll be with someone, say, who's 6 months down the line with the same type of cancer, and they can go, oh, when that happened to me, this is what I did. Oh, yeah, my hair fell out, but look, it's all right now. And it's just the mental side of things. If you're positive and you feel positive, it's going to help with your recovery. And then it's a wider thing with the families. So you've got parents there who are meeting other parents who are a bit further down the line who can reassure them. You know, so it's a lot. It is about the medical treatment, and the staff are amazing. But it's almost, well, it is as important as the the mental health side of things, basically. So you're creating a positive environment. And we've had so many young people say, you know, that it was like a home from home for them, and they weren't scared when they're going into hospital. And to hear that, it's just fantastic. If you're a teenager, having a spot on the end of your nose is the end of the world. A cancer diagnosis is terrifying. And then to hear people go, well, when I walked in there, I knew I was going to be okay. It's just amazing. And so we've been doing it. As a family, we've been supporting it for 25 years now. Yeah, I'm very proud.
Wow. It's, I often talk on here about people doing good things, and this is a wonderful case in point. And Des, thank you on behalf of many people, because we all know what this event is as well and have heard for it, and getting the inside track of what's going on and what's being done with the money is wonderful to hear as well. People probably won't need it, but if they need to find out more, how can they get hold of you?
Well, the easiest thing is to go to the website, which is www.teenagecancertrust.org, and you'll find any information on there. And there's a great support system as well, because people, it is terrifying, and it's. We've had a lot of young people say they were more worried about their brother and sister and their mum and dad being able to cope with it, and it does affect the whole family. So there's a great support network there. And it's a very positive charity, and very proud to be part of it. Yeah.
Well, that's it. It's been a really fun day to see people catch their first fish, to see experienced anglers, to see old friends. That's what these events are. It shows to me how great our fishing community is when people catch up with each other, sometimes meeting for the first time. But of course, we've always got this bond, fly fishing. I hope you've enjoyed this episode as much as me. It's been really, really good fun. I'm going to hop in the van now and head back to Devon, but I hope you're going to enjoy listening to this episode of the Fly Culture Podcast. As ever, there's never going to be any charge for these. I just love talking to people about fishing and what it means to them. So there'll be plenty more coming soon, but thanks so much for listening.
The Fly Culture Podcast is brought to you in association with Fly Culture, a quarterly published magazine owned and run by fly anglers. When it comes to fly fishing, we've got you covered.